is right now. So we're gonna annihilate her. Hey everybody, today's video is going to be about Frenzy. I'm not calling this a Frenzy build guide just because I'm a little bit sick of making the exact sort of guide that people want. And I kind of want to show off how strong Frenzy is so you could plug it into whatever build you want. In the intro clip you can see we killed Uber Lilith just with Frenzy. I have a few other variations of the build, one with Kick. Honestly, you could have any core skill to support it, and it would be totally fine. But I am going to go into a few of the uniques that you need to pick up to make Frenzy as strong as it can be, as well as where you can farm this. So let's get started. Right off the bat, obviously Battle Trance. So +9 ranks to Frenzy. It has some other decent stats, so Max Fury is going to be important for later. Cooldown reduction, as well as its secondary effect, or special effect, unique effect, in that it increases your attack speed. So if you are going for a more meta build, you can use a secondary skill, a core skill that takes advantage of that attack speed. I don't really care for what I'm doing today. Honestly, we're just using the amulet for more levels in Frenzy, as well as more stacks, which increases our damage reduction. So in total, Frenzy is giving us 40% increased damage reduction, which is insane. That's 40% more than you can get in a build without Frenzy. So that plus some of the Vampiric Powers that showed up in Season 2 turn Frenzy into a skill that makes you basically unkillable. Our second, and for Battle Trance, you can target farm it, in quotes. It took me a while before I got one. Grigoire or the Beast in Ice. So if you do those a bunch of times, you will eventually get it. I've gotten 3, and this is the only one that high rolled, the Rex in Frenzy. Next up, obviously one of my favorite uniques of all time, Magnum Opus. Max Fury, and then skills using this weapon deal more damage per point of Max Fury you have. I have a different build setup going on. We have 177 here. You can get it really high, especially since this has Max Fury on it. And then unique we're about to show after this also has Max Fury on it. It's a great weapon for Frenzy. If you want it to be the main damage dealer, I would suggest using it. If you are using Frenzy in conjunction with a skill that can also use a one-hander, definitely, this is the weapon to go for, like a double swing. Frenzy double swing is a pretty basic build. Really strong. Target farming this, Grigoire or Lord Zir. I've gotten a bunch of these this league. I feel like it's a little bit more common than the other one. Go at it. And the final unique that I want to talk about is Tusk Helm of the Joritz, the Mighty. This I actually didn't realize only dropped off of Duriel, because I actually got it as a drop in the world, just randomly. So it seems like even though you can target farm these bosses for the uniques, they can also just drop anywhere. Outside of the Uber uniques, those are still probably impossible to get outside of Duriel. But once again, Max Fury, ranks of aggressive resistance, which is damage reduction while berserking, and then the berserking buff. So this is a fantastic item in conjunction with Frenzy, and you can target farm that. Again, Duriel. So basically just killing Duriel. You'll get a bunch of these. I've gotten like 5 of these. I was getting really tired of this shit before, we actually got some decent loot from him. So these 3 items, you put them in any Frenzy builds, probably going to make it stronger. Really good. The Vampiric Powers I want to highlight, which are actually what make the build broken. So I was testing around with it a little bit and trying to make maps or the Nightmare Dungeons work. It was feeling kind of shitty because you're just sitting there auto-attacking like single target. It's not very good. So if you can't stay alive, then the build is, utter garbage. You get the 40% damage reduction. You can also get Hectic, which for every 5 basic skills you cast, one of your active cooldowns is reduced by 2 seconds. That's huge. You can also get Undying. So casting skills heals you for 3% of your life. This is insane. Every other thing that the Barb can heal for does go up to 3% of your max life. Normally it's your battle shouts, whatever. If they are up, you get 3% per shout, to a total of 9%. If you spend 100 Fury, you could also gain 3% life. This is just any time you cast Frenzy, which is insane because our attack speed is off the charts. you get 3%. And if you ever duck down before 50%, you just start skyrocketing your health. So essentially unkillable. And you'll see that in the Nightmare Dungeon footage from later. And the final one is obviously Moonrise. So this is what makes Frenzy a standalone skill this league. You have attack speed, and then once you hit max stacks, it increases the damage by 160%. Kind of crazy. The movement speed's nice. And just an overall great power. I'm glad they added it. It kind of opens up some builds that you can kind of mess around with a lot more. Frenzy being probably the best basic skill to use with this. But yeah, that about does it. I'm going to show off a Uber Lilith kill with 2 different versions of the builds, and then a Nightmare Dungeon tier 100 just to show off the survivability. My next video, I might do the same thing for this amulet that we're wearing for our other build, just to kind of highlight these uniques that showed up in Season 2, as well as Vampiric Powers that showed up in Season 2, that allow you to kind of just do whatever you want. So with these 3 uniques, Battle Trance, Magnum Opus, and the Helm, together you can kind of put, make a rend build with it. You can make double swing. You could actually do probably a meta Hoda or a meta upheaval version of this build. You get 40% damage reduction. You get to heal up instantly as you auto attack. And you're basically unkillable. So would recommend just kind of poking around if you have these items lying around. I feel like a lot of you do, because killing bosses this league has been fantastic. Let me know if you've tried Frenzy. Link me to a build that does it better, because I know what I show off today is nowhere near the top of what this could be. But it's a lot of fun to just kind of mess around. So hope you guys are having a good time. I'll catch you guys later. Footage we're going to show off here is a version of the build with kick. Concept is max fury. Kick once when you're using Wrath of the Berserker. Kick a second time, and now you're at max Wrath of the Berserker bonus to berserking. And you can just kind of go ham. In our first sort of phase there, right, we get her down to half health super easily. Although this kind of goes against what I was initially trying to do, which is just make a Frenzy only build. Kick does actually do a ton of damage here, and if you just replace kick with any core skill, it's basically going to be the same thing. But overall, you can see how strong this is. And there's also something to be said about how Frenzy does a lot more damage when you have Max Fury, so maybe kick isn't actually the best thing to go for here. And trust me, you don't want to see Phase 2, because it's the same Phase 2 you've seen in every single other one of these videos. You just cheese Lilith by killing her too quickly, and then she just closes the platforms, never spawns any of the fireballs, and she dies. So I'll show off part 1 just so you can, just so you believe me that it's possible. But we're not going to go through the whole thing. It's super fucking boring. So here we already phased her, and we're already also going to stun her when she comes out of this. If she wasn't immune, whatever. I'm just going to move on to the Nightmare Dungeon now. The version of this build that I was running in Nightmare Dungeons is not very good. This is just kind of showing off what's possible and how strong the healing is. I was running with the Butcher's Cleaver, so that's why you see some of these guys getting feared and running away. But yeah, this is a T100, and we're just face tanking everything. Especially once we get near this corner here. I'm just going to be standing on poison. I don't even think I'm poison capped with this build. And we just, once we have poison dots on us, you can see our health going down. And then as we auto attack, you can see it maxing out at 100%. The Vampiric Powers are insane. This also shows off why I added kick to the builds. Whenever I see a rare or elite, you can just walk up and kick it. Most of the time it'll take it out. I believe this Nightmare Dungeon has lowers cooldown anytime you get a kill. So that might be why you're seeing the cooldowns go even faster. But yeah, mostly just wanted to show off that it was possible. We tanked the fucking dungeon mechanic there, the lightning smasher. I don't know what that thing's called. I hate it, or I normally do. We're standing in these pools of poison. We're getting hit by them when they're exploding. We're still living. It's just so much damage reduction, as well as just so much healing. So, once again, just kind of showing off what's possible with Frenzy. If you're dying a lot, maybe swap to Frenzy as your basic attack. If you have the extra amulet space, you're not using the Banished Lord's Talisman, you're not going some kind of overpower builds, maybe try to throw on the Frenzy Battle Trance Amulet. Get a bunch of attack speed or damage reduction, get that going. Yeah. Once again, I'll probably be doing more videos like this where it's me kind of just going into uniques, how they interact with abilities or other, you know, seasonal mechanics, Paragon glyphs, etc. Just to show off what's possible, not necessarily giving you the exact builds to try this out with. So see what you guys can come up with, make something, and you know, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.